After Bryce's proposal, Natalie was incredibly restless the whole night. Before Natalie knew it, the morning light had come into the sky. She got up. She was just finishing her breakfast when there was a heavy, insistent knocking on the door. Natalie took a deep breath, walked over, and opened the door. What she saw when she opened the door was Tom, his face a combination of anger and impatience. "Took you long enough to open the damn door." He glanced at Natalie with contempt, walking in uninvited with 2 bodyguards. "Why are you here? Why don't you be a good girl and come back with me to marry the guy I've set up for you?" "What if I say no?" Natalie asked, stubbornly refusing to bow down to him. Tom scowled and gave the 2 bodyguards a discreet sign, unseen by Natalie. Before Natalie could react, the 2 bodyguards swept past her, heading straight for the bedroom. She realized their target was Liam. She could hear the bodyguards moving around in the bedroom. She had to think of a countermeasure. Suddenly, Natalie realized what the solution was. There was no other choice. She had to marry Bryce to keep Liam safe. "I have to go to the bathroom. I think I'm going to throw up." She rushed past him, and as soon as she was in the bathroom, she pulled out her phone, dialing furiously. Bryce was driving to his office when Natalie's caller ID came up on his phone. "Bryce, I will marry you. I will. But can you please come over to my place right now?" "Natalie, what's happening?" "My father is here with his bodyguards. Liam and I are being held captive." "Right, I understand. Hang in there just a bit longer." Natalie went back to the living room and was shocked to see Liam sitting on the sofa crying. She walked angrily towards her father. "Let Liam go right now. He's only a kid, for heaven's sake." "I already told you. If you just do what I ask, Liam won't be harmed." Seeing Liam's hopeless condition, she finally broke down and yelled at Tom, "You heartless man! How can you treat your own grandson like this?" She shoved the bodyguard aside, catching him by surprise, and was about to make a break for the door. At that moment, the doorbell rang. The 3 men looked at each other, unsure about who was outside. "Open the door." When the door opened, 2 cops were standing outside. "Please don't cause any trouble. We need you to cooperate with our investigation." Tom was nonplussed for a moment. He faked a smile and said smoothly, "Officer, I'm sure that you can see there's been a misunderstanding. This is my daughter's home, and I'm here to visit her." The 2 cops looked at each other confused. Natalie heard the conversation taking place near the doorway. "Officers, please. These are bad people. Please help me." The cops issued Tom a warning, and he had no choice but to angrily leave his daughter's house, taking his 2 bodyguards with him. But as he left, he gave Natalie a warning stare. She was immensely grateful that Bryce had helped him this time. Natalie shook off her churning emotions and decided to take Liam to see Bryce. If she'd thought about it a bit more, she might have changed her mind, but she was really afraid something might happen to Liam, and that overrode everything else. Bryce had just arrived near Natalie's home. He was awestruck when he saw Natalie. Bryce suddenly realized how attractive he found her. "Did you bring all the documents?" Natalie felt uncomfortable under his stare. "Yes, I brought them all." Bryce didn't say anything else, just drove Natalie to the courthouse to arrange their marriage certificate. When Natalie and Bryce walked in, they didn't have to wait long before it was their turn. Noticing Natalie's nervousness, Bryce frowned. He held her hand to reassure her. "What's on your mind? Are you regretting getting married to me?" He was smiling and his eyes were beaming. As he leaned close to her, she could feel his breath on her neck. Natalie blushed, lowered her head to hide her embarrassment, and quickly pushed him away. "No, of course not. Come on, let's go and get our picture taken." While they were posing for their picture, Natalie felt awkward with Bryce so close to her, but gradually the dispirited feeling she'd had was slipping away from her. After a short while, they emerged from the courthouse with the marriage certificate. Liam, who was waiting outside, was really excited and happy to see the marriage certificate in his mom and dad's hands.
"I am so happy. Finally, you guys have married. This is great. Now I can live with Daddy."
Liam saw his mother was still in a daze.
"Mommy, aren't you happy? We're not alone anymore. From now on, no one will dare to bully us."
Natalie gave him a hug. She felt content seeing him so happy. Bryce's heart swelled when he saw this. He reached out his hand almost automatically and gently stroked her hair. Natalie, surprised, looked at him with a perplexed expression. "What's the matter?" Bryce flinched and drew his hand back. "I've already arranged for someone to pack up all your stuff so you can move in with me today." She nodded gratefully. "Thank you." There's no need to thank me. This is the least I should be doing." Then he took out a prepared contract from his bag and handed it to Natalie. "Here, look through this." Natalie took it suspiciously. There were quite a few provisions in it, but at the same time, Natalie secretly admired Bryce's thoroughness. The contract was extensive. It stated that they would not interfere with each other's lives during their marriage, and that they were only to maintain the illusion of a normal marriage when they were outside their home. Bryce also highlighted a few clauses that made it clear that either party could terminate the agreement at any time. The agreed distribution of interests and properties between the two parties was also clearly stated. After Natalie finished reading the contract, she felt relieved. At least everything would be very clear in advance. Checking the contract once more, Natalie realized there wasn't a clause stipulating that there was no need for the parties to carry out the full duties of husband and wife.
Hi, I am Natalie. Want to know my story? Then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of The Return Now.